Ever found yourself doing all the work because someone else just can't do it right? You might be dealing with weaponized incompetence. This clever yet frustrating tactic involves intentionally playing the fool to dodge responsibilities. It's an act of pretending to be incapable or ignorant, a ruse to escape tasks that might be demanding or simply mundane. Picture this: a roommate who never seems to load the dishwasher correctly, or that one colleague who perpetually messes up the simplest tasks, leaving you to pick up the slack. It's not that they can't do it, rather, they've mastered the art of not doing it. This is weaponized incompetence. It's a crafty strategy where the goal is to be relieved of a task by performing it so poorly that someone else takes over. Weaponized incompetence is more common than you think, and you may have encountered it without even realizing. Weaponized incompetence isn't limited to one area of life. It can crop up in various settings. It's a versatile tactic, making appearances in homes, workplaces, and personal relationships alike. Let's delve into some common contexts and examples. Picture the domestic sphere, a classic stage for weaponized incompetence. One partner may consistently forget to do the dishes or accidentally shrink clothes in the wash. Over time, the other partner may take over these tasks to avoid the hassle, inadvertently enabling the behavior. In workplaces, weaponized incompetence can be equally, if not more, prevalent. Imagine a colleague who always seems to struggle with a certain report, requiring others to step in and finish the job. Or consider the team member who is perpetually confused about project deadlines, leaving their peers to pick up the slack. Beyond these environments, personal relationships can also be a fertile ground for this behavior. It might be a friend who never quite manages to split the bill correctly, or a family member who struggles to remember important dates or events, leaving others to handle the details. These examples may seem benign, even laughable at first glance, but repeated over time, they create a pattern of avoidance and abdication of responsibility. The impact: an unfair distribution of work and emotional labor, breeding resentment and frustration in those left carrying the load. It's important to note that not every instance of forgetfulness or error is a case of weaponized incompetence. We're all human, and we all have moments of genuine confusion or mistake. But when a pattern emerges, when the same tasks are consistently avoided or botched, it's time to consider whether weaponized incompetence is at play. Recognizing weaponized incompetence is the first step towards addressing it. It's about spotting the patterns, understanding the impacts, and being ready to navigate the challenging conversations that can lead to change. Because everyone deserves relationships and work environments that are fair, balanced, and respectful. But why do people weaponize incompetence? The reasons are more complex than simply laziness. Let's delve into the psychological motivations behind this behavior. At the heart of it, weaponized incompetence is a form of avoidance. It's a strategy used to sidestep responsibility. This could be due to a deep-seated fear of failure, the pressure of high expectations, or a desire to remain in a comfort zone. By playing dumb, individuals can conveniently sidestep tasks they find daunting or burdensome. But it's not just about shirking responsibilities. Sometimes weaponized incompetence is about control. It's a power play. By feigning inability, individuals can manipulate others into doing tasks for them. This can create a dynamic where they hold the reins, deciding when and how tasks are done, or if they're done at all. Cultural and societal norms can play a significant role in reinforcing this behavior. Traditional gender roles, for instance, might encourage men to play dumb when it comes to household chores, or women to feign ignorance about car maintenance or financial matters. This isn't to say that everyone adheres to these outdated stereotypes, but they can subtly influence behavior and expectations. Now, let's talk about the impact. On the surface, weaponized incompetence might seem like a harmless, albeit irritating quirk, but it can have far-reaching consequences. In a domestic setting, it can lead to an unfair distribution of chores, breeding resentment and tension. In a workplace, it can create an imbalance in workload, foster a toxic environment, and even lead to decreased productivity. Moreover, it doesn't just affect the people who pick up the slack. The person feigning incompetence might get a temporary pass on tasks, but they also miss out on opportunities to learn, grow, and build competence. They may also earn a reputation for being unreliable or untrustworthy, which can impact their personal and professional relationships. The impact of weaponized incompetence, however, extends beyond the individual. In the next scene, we'll delve deeper into the psychological and emotional consequences for both parties involved in this dynamic. The effects of weaponized incompetence can be far-reaching, affecting both the perpetrator and those around them. This is the reality of this psychological phenomenon. Let's first consider the individual on the receiving end of weaponized incompetence. They often bear the brunt of the workload, taking on responsibilities that are unfairly delegated to them. This can lead to increased stress and burnout as they are left to juggle multiple tasks while trying to maintain high standards. Over time, this can chip away at their self-esteem as they may begin to question their worth and competence, even when they are not at fault. Now let's turn our attention to the person employing weaponized incompetence. On the surface, they may appear to be getting off easy, avoiding tasks they don't want to handle. However, the long-term psychological consequences can be detrimental. As they continually avoid responsibility, their interpersonal skills may deteriorate. They may lose the respect of their colleagues or loved ones as their actions breed frustration and resentment. Over time, this can lead to a sense of isolation and a breakdown in their relationships. In a work setting, weaponized incompetence can create a toxic environment. It can decrease overall productivity and place an undue burden on other team members. This not only impacts the team's output, but can also affect morale, leading to a cycle of negativity that is hard to break. In personal relationships, this behavior can create a significant imbalance, fostering feelings of resentment and dissatisfaction. It can lead to conflict and strain, damaging the relationship and potentially leading to its breakdown. So while weaponized incompetence might seem like an easy way to dodge tasks or responsibilities, it's important to remember that the consequences are far from harmless. It affects not just the individual employing this behavior, but those around them as well. It can damage relationships, decrease productivity, and have long-lasting psychological impacts. While it might seem like an easy way out, weaponized incompetence can have serious repercussions. So it's crucial to be aware of these consequences and strive towards more honest and responsible behaviors. So how can you deal with weaponized incompetence? As we navigate this crucial topic, it's important to remember that change begins with awareness. If you're on the receiving end of weaponized incompetence, it's crucial to address it directly. This might involve a frank conversation about the issue. Be specific about the behavior you've observed and its impact on you. It's not about blaming, but about understanding and finding a way forward. On the other hand, if you recognize this behavior in yourself, kudos for your self-awareness. That's the first step towards change. It may be helpful to reflect on your motivations. Are you avoiding responsibility due to fear of failure, a desire for control, or perhaps societal norms? Understanding the why behind your actions can help you begin to shift your behavior. Once we've identified and understood weaponized incompetence, the next step is to confront it. This requires open, honest communication. It's about expressing your feelings, setting clear expectations, and seeking understanding. Remember, the goal isn't to accuse or blame, but to foster a dialogue that leads to change. Now let's talk about shared responsibility. It's about creating an environment where everyone contributes, where tasks and responsibilities are divided equitably. This isn't just about fairness, it's about respect. By sharing responsibilities, we signal to others that their time, effort, and skills are valued. But what if you're the one exhibiting weaponized incompetence? Well, it's time for some self-reflection and possibly a change in behavior. Consider implementing accountability practices. This might mean taking on a task you've been avoiding or asking for help when you need it. It's also about setting personal development goals. You might want to develop new skills or improve existing ones. It's about growth, and growth takes effort and commitment. In the end, overcoming weaponized incompetence is about more than just avoiding tasks. It's about respect, communication, and growth. It's about recognizing the value in ourselves and in each other. It's about creating a culture of shared responsibility and mutual respect. Overcoming weaponized incompetence requires self-awareness, open communication, and a commitment to change. To sum up, weaponized incompetence is a form of manipulation that can impact various aspects of our lives. This is a tactic where someone deliberately feigns ignorance or inability to evade responsibility, commonly seen in domestic spaces, workplaces, and personal relationships. The underlying motivations range from laziness, avoidance of responsibility, desire for control, to fear of failure. These actions can create an imbalance in relationships and work environments, leading to frustration, resentment, decreased productivity, and even burnout. The psychological and emotional consequences for both parties can be significant, but through open communication, setting clear expectations, and fostering environments of shared responsibility, we can navigate and overcome this behavior. As we conclude, take some time to reflect on your actions and the dynamics of your relationships and workplaces. We'd love to hear your experiences or strategies for dealing with weaponized incompetence. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights into psychological behaviors and relationship dynamics.